Hockey fans, the Michigan Girls High School Hockey League playoffs are live and on the air. Okay, we're going to take one more moment. So I'm just trying to get a couple things set up, then we'll be right back. As we are back live, as it is the Michigan Girls High School Hockey League, and right now it is the fourth game of the day, where it is the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils versus the Livingston United team, as everyone getting ready to go here for game number 4. Action that happened earlier. Liggett beat Washtenaw United by a score of 7-0, and Livonia United beat Pioneer by a score of 4-2. So those two teams will play at 6 o'clock on Wednesday for the Division One semifinals. Then Huron Skyline beat Mercy 8-0, so they advanced to the 8 o'clock game on Wednesday here. Then the winner of Grosse Pointe South and Livingston United will play Huron Skyline at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Let's take a look at these teams and talk a little bit about them. Let's see. Grosse Pointe South is number 2 in the East Conference. They were 11-3-1 during league play, and they were 14-3-1-1 overall throughout the season. Livingston United, number 3 in the West Conference. They were 4-7-1 on the league play, 6-11-1 overall. Taking a look at the last few games for Grosse Pointe South. Let's take a look at the last 5 games. As they lost to Livonia United, that was 6-0 back on February 10th over at the Eastside Foundation Hockey Arena. Then they played Michigan and lost February 11th. That was a 2-1 loss. They played Livonia United again, this time at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena, and beat them 4-3. They beat Mercy 3-0, then lost 8-0 to Ann Arbor Huron Skyline, a team that they hope to be able to play on Wednesday. And if we take a look at the players' stats and take a look at the top point scorers here for Grosse Pointe South, as with 27 points, Leonard has 12 goals and 15 assists. 24 points is Peruski. She has 8 goals and 16 assists. And taking a look, Clavari has 20 points on 9 goals and 11 assists. O'Donoghue has 16 points on 7 goals, 9 assists. And Charlotte Har has 13 points on 5 goals and 6 assists. It has been predominantly Rosie Smith between the pipes all 19 games. She has a goals against average of 192 and a save percentage of 916. Popping over to Livingston United, taking a look at their last 5 games, as they have a loss versus Sacred Heart 3-0 back on February 11th. They lost versus Huron Skyline 9-1 back on February 21st. They lost to Livonia United 6-1 back on February 23rd. They tied Washtenaw 0-0 back on the 25th, and then beat Mercy 1-0 back on February 26th. Taking a look at the player statistics for Livingston, as Clamo is top with points, 21 points on 18 goals and 3 assists. She is not in uniform today as she is away on spring break. Richards has 13 points on 6 goals and 7 assists. Eckerman has 11 points on 6 goals and 5 assists. Shattuck has 7 points on 1 goal and 6 assists. And Pison has 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists. As being welcomed to the rink by the public address announcer. Good crowd here at Livingston United and Grosse Pointe South. As Shattuck skates out to the blue line, starting. Eckerman skates out to the blue line for Livingston. Kim skates out at forward for Livingston. As Pison skates out to the blue line. Richards playing center today for Livingston. As Patilla between the pipes for Livingston. Now for the Blue Devils. As Cosmas skates out to the blue line. Sherry playing defense, skates out to the blue line. As Leonard skates out to the blue line.
Number 23, Bella
Peruski skates out to the blue line.
And at center, number 12, Gia Cavalier.
As Cavalier
Rosie Smith.
out there, and then Rosie Smith in between the pipes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As we're getting ready to go for game number 4 in the Division I playoffs here from Eddie Edgar Arena. Division II playoffs have been in Rink B. We're in Rink A, and we will hopefully should have the Rink A games for you on Wednesday as well at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Just got to make sure our team number 2 can make it. So we're getting ready to go. Blue Devils versus Livingston United. As out to take the face-off is Richards for Livingston. And Blue Devils going from right to left here in this opening period. Livingston going from left to right. Livingston in their jerseys look a lot like the Golden Knights of Vegas. As on the other side was Cavalier taking the face-off. That comes all the way back. Top of the far circle, moved ahead, racing ahead with his Leonard. As that tipped away, good defense by Shatuk. Now brought in along the near boards as Richards gets it back into the neutral zone. Grabbing it, Peruski fires it all the way down the far boards. That lifted all the way back in by Sherry. Comes into the near corner, racing over to get it. And to pull it away is Shatuk, who rims it all the way around the boards. Kept in at the far point by Sherry. So that puck comes right back behind the goal. Now Shatuk underneath the near circle, battling in the near corner, trying to get it away from Cavalier. That comes outside the far circle, firing at Kim. That comes all the way to center ice. Now Richards coming down the far boards. Richards gets it into the zone. Offsides the call. 14:10 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off just outside the Blue Devil zone in the far face-off circle. As McGee in to take the face-off. On the other side is 27, who I don't have on my roster. So they've all the teams have kind of brought their JV squads up. Reynolds coming into the zone. Outside the near circle, centering. That comes off the side of the net. In along the end boards, pulled back behind by Peabody. Peabody goes from the near side. That rimmed all the way around by Young. Back out to the far point, trying to peel it out is Boyce. That comes shot from the inner corner of the far circle. That comes all the way back. Peabody now gets it out into the neutral zone. And all the way back and along the boards. Reynolds trying to fire it the other direction. And comes right into the zone as Vosberg brings it in. The puck at the far point. Trying to fire that back deep. Brought around is Oku. Puck fired all the way back deep into the Blue Devil zone. Icing waved off. So that's picked up in along the near boards. Moved ahead by Reynolds. Now trying to keep it in. The puck outside the near circle. Anderson has it into the near corner. That rims all the way outside the far circle. Blue Devils have it there. Trying to fire it ahead is Peabody. They're loose on the far circle. Again trying to fire it ahead. And puck brought ahead. Here comes through the neutral zone. In along the near boards. And it's sent all the way back as O'Donohue has it icing. That will go back. As that puck in the near circle into the near corner, trying to pull that around is Charlotte Haar. Outside the near circle, that comes back into the neutral zone. All the way back into the Livingston end as Eckerman gets it back into the neutral zone. Down the near boards is Pison. Pison feeds it. Richards has it outside the far circle. Richards into the far corner. Richards ends up on the ice trying to pull that back behind, going for the far side and the near side. Richards underneath the near circle. Richards now right back behind the goal, trying to get that as it's poked away by Charlotte Haar. Outside the near circle, bringing it ahead. Here comes Boyer. There's a shot from the blue line. That goes wide into the far corner. And it's a good job by Rosie Smith. The puck fires all the way back into the Livingston zone. 11:54 left to go. Here in the first, Livingston brings it ahead as McWilliams gets it all the way back into the zone, into the Blue Devil zone. That pull back behind by Peruski. Now comes the other direction. In along the near boards is Peruski. Over center ice, Peruski gains the zone. Offsides the call. That'll be pulled outside in the far face-off circle just outside of the Livingston zone. Scoreless so far, 11:30 left to go here in the first. As winner will take on Huron Skyline at 8 o'clock on Wednesday here at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena. And puck all the way in along the near boards, trying to tip it ahead is Leonard. In along the M boards, and grabbed by Cavalier. Now there's a shot out in front, trying to keep it away, and chipped, and just went wide. As battle for it is Patilla doing an excellent job. Another shot, Patilla with another save. And Reynolds had it on the near side, just unable to find it in the net. And puck outside the far circle, trying to dig it away. Pull it out of there is Leonard. And puck on the near circle. And holding it in at the near point is Cosmas. Comes right back behind the Livingston goal. Now in the far circle. Racing over to get it is McGee. That chipped all the way back. Back to the far point. Shot from there. Comes outside the near circle. Trying to shovel it back deep is Peruski. Now on the near circle. Pull back. Peruski. Right out. That tipped away by Patilla. Back behind. Peruski on that far circle. That pulled. Now going the other direction from the far side to the near side is Young. Outside the near circle. Trying to pull it away is McGee. Trying to get it out of the zone. Battle for it as that's chipped to the far point. Now Blue Devils have to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. 10:04 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Livingston down the near boards. That's helped to the blue line, but not out of the zone, as that was put back deep by Cosmas. And along the far boards, that slips back out into the neutral zone. Sherry racing over to get it. And puck into the near corner. Now outside the near circle, centering. High slot, that poke back as Elise Hare trying to get it out of the zone. That fired right back in deep. As delayed offsides against Livingston. Picking up in the far corner, Sherry feeds it to the far point, held in there by Pison. Shot and a goal as Livingston United put it in. Able to get the 1-0 lead. As shot from the far circle, and that at 9:21, Livingston United takes the early lead. Face-off at center is Lindsay in to take the face-off. Richards on the other side. Now Lindsay will skate to the bench. And so Donahue in to take the face-off. That puck down the far boards, gaining the zone. Blue Devils. As Peabody loses an edge, the puck into the near corner. Swept back, Peabody with a shot that hit a post. Right off top of the near circle is Livingston trying to keep it out of the zone as Reynolds has it.
Livingston goal scored by number 21, Sabina Payson, unassisted.
Pison, unassisted. As Peabody and along the end boards gets into the slot, covered up by Patilla. 8:47 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Livingston with the lead over the Blue Devils. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That to Patilla's right. As Elise Smith in to take the face-off. On the other side was McGee. That comes all the way around outside the far circle, held in at the far point. Shot from there by Moody. The puck steered into the far corner. Outside the far circle now. Blue Devils try and take it back behind as Ellie Smith has it. Pinned against the boards, trying to pull it away. Snap puck into the near corner. Digging it outside the near circle in there. Boyer trying to pull it away, now trying to fire it back. Charlotte Haar Goes right back behind the goal. Helped around by Eckerman. All the way back to the far point. Held in there by Moody. That puck outside the near circle. Now back into the neutral zone. Livingston gets it all the way back into the Blue Devil zone. Moody trying to fire it ahead. As Boyer lifts it, that all the way down into the Livingston zone. Shattuck banks it off the far boards. And collected now. Racing ahead into the zone. Coming over is Charlotte Haar. Into the near circle. And set up off of Boyer. And puck all the way back to the far point. Charlotte Haar holds it in there. She goes for a line change. Now Boyer in along the end boards. That shot from the slot as that was set up for Verlinden and shot and a save by Patilla. 7:29 left to go here in the first. Livingston up 1-0 over the Blue Devils. Face off in the near face off circle, that to the right of Patilla. As that puck back, top of the near circle shot. And it goes just wide all the way around the circle. Back to the far point, held in there by the Blue Devils. Patilla made a pair of saves. As that puck sent all the way outside the far circle is Periski. Back to the far point. Shot there, got deflected. Is chasing it all the way back is Boyer. Boyer outside the near circle of her own zone, trying to fire it ahead as Hyson has it outside the near circle now. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Peruski. Peruski on the near circle, works her way through the slot. Save by Patilla. Peruski puts it right out in front. Loose battling. Sliding Patilla with the save. Now there's a shot that deflected by Cavalier in along the end boards. Lifted back underneath the near circle. That fired. Top of the near circle, making a move with it is Cavalier. Drop pass, shot that deflected by Camas. Underneath the near circle. Pull that away is McWilliams for Livingston. Livingston fires it right to the blue line. That helped all the way down as Hyson fires it. That ending up on net, so icing waved off. Sherry collects it back behind her own goal. Sherry coming down the far board. Sherry. And right out to center ice. Now tipped, racing ahead with it. Here comes Cavalier. Cavalier in, backhanded shot. That goes high. 5:57 left to go here in the first. Livingston 1, Blue Devils nothing. As that puck back behind, pulled around. Shattuck sends it down the near boards. Lindsay tried to hold it in as that puck bounces, slips back out into the neutral zone. As that fired back in by Peruski into the far corner. Underneath the near circle, here comes Livingston United as they get it ahead to McWilliams. McWilliams feeds it. Here comes McGee gaining the zone. That tip right back to center. Lindsay fires it down the far boards, battling over there with Shattuck. Back to center and fired deep. Is racing to get it, Boyce. Back underneath. Oku has it into the near corner. Oku trying to get it outside the near circle. Battling there is Elise Haar. Trying to pull it away. Then down the near boards. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Elise Haar. Elise Haar into the slot. Poked off the puck as that comes in along the end boards. Tipped. Sent by Shattuck back in along the far boards. Boys with it. A whistle. As a scuffle back behind the net, they'll keep everyone separated. 4:43 left to go. Both teams will get a line change, and that'll come right back. So we'll see where they want to drop the puck into. That's offsetting penalties, one to Livingston, one to the Blue Devils. So I believe roughing the call on both of those. So we'll stay 5-on-5 as they're offsetting. Face-off in the far face-off circle as McWilliams in to take the face-off. And comes all the way around underneath the near circle. And tipped, trying to pull it out of there is Peabody. That comes on the far circle. Shot there by O'Donoghue. And deflected all the way back. Blocking it up, Moody on the near circle. Moody trying to fire it ahead. Now racing. In, high slot. Shot by O'Donoghue. And it comes right back into the near corner. Now on the near circle. That put O'Donoghue into the near corner. Off shot, wide angle shot by Peabody. And a save by Patilla. 4:02 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Livingston with the lead over the Blue Devils, the number 2 seed in the East. The Blue Devils, number 3 seed in the West. Livingston United. Face off right in center ice as Richards in to take the face off versus O'Donoghue. And comes in along the M boards. Outside the near circle. As through the slot, O'Donoghue has it tipped away all the way back. That comes in along the far boards, back out into the neutral zone. O'Donoghue brings that. O'Donoghue gains the zone, top of the near circle. O'Donoghue right back behind. That goes off the side of the net, poked back by the Livingston defense. Now right through the slot coming in. There's a shot that just goes high. That one by Vosberg. Outside the near circle. Now trying to chip that back is Cosmas. Had it. Going for a line change. Here are the Blue Devils. Have sent all the way back down. That'll be icing. They'll come right back down into the Livingston zone. 3:07 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Livingston with the lead over the Blue Devils. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That's going to be to the right of Patilla. Ellie Smith in to take the face off versus McGee. As that puck pulled right back behind the goal by Eckerman. Fed along the far boards. Held in at the far point by Oku. Into the far corner, trying to pull that back. Livingston gets it all the way back deep into the Blue Devil zone. Racing over to get it is Reynolds. Reynolds has it back behind her own goal, going from the far side to the near side. Ricochets it off the near boards. That picked up, trying to come ahead with it is Verlinden. Now fired back deep there by Boyer. Loose in the slot. Backhanded shot and a save by Patilla. As Verlinden got it right out in front. Took the backhanded shot. Verlinden. There and a save by Patilla. Keeps it 1-0. Livingston United with the lead over the Blue Devils. Face off in the near face off circle. As Richards in to take the face off. Cavalier on the other side. Tipped right back behind the goal, coming in along the far boards. Fired right back deep by Charlotte Haar. Bouncing puck, top of the far circle. That held in at the high slot. Now Pole trying to get to it. That lifted and shot out in front. Oh, as a shot point blank, couldn't get it in. As Cavalier right on the near corner chipped away at it and just getting enough of a piece of it. Patilla. Also, Peruski had a nice opportunity as well. Couple big time saves by Livingston. That's going to be a roughing call. As into the box goes Livingston United. And at 2:08. So in the box is Eckerman. And puck lifted all the way back. Plucked up at the far point by Sherry. As holding it, or trying to hold it in was, I put that in there was Pison, but that was offsides. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle just outside of the Blue Devil zone. 1 minute 54 seconds left to go. Here in the first, 1:47 left to go in the Blue Devil power play. Livingston United up by 1 as they get the puck. Firing it back deep is Young. That rims right back behind the Blue Devil goal. Gathered up by Sherry in the far corner. Now back into the near corner. Oku trying to send it ahead. That's sent down the ice as And it'll be right back in along the end boards. Now coming in. Shot off the side of the net. Battling over there is Vosberg. Vosberg trying to center it. That knocked down over there by Pison. Now it comes pulled away. Sent all the way down by Shatuk. And that'll be clear back into the Blue Devil zone. 1:08 left to go in the Blue Devil power play. There's 1:11 left to go here in the first period. Livingston United up by 1. O'Donoghue with the shot that just goes wide to the near side. Gathered back behind by Verlinden. Out in front, covered up by Patilla. 57.9 seconds left to go here in the first. 50 seconds left on the power play to the Blue Devils. Face-off in the near face-off circle. There's McGeehan to take the face-off. That versus Cavaliers. Shot from the high slot. Deflected in along the end boards. Now into the near corner. Cavalier with it there. Outside the near circle. Cavalier gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds moves it into the far corner. Over there looking for Lindsay. Back to the far point. And sent back deep by Charlotte Haar in the slot. And popped up and covered up is Lindsay. Trying to feed it right out in front. Patilla with another great save. 31.3 seconds left to go here in the first. 23 seconds left in the Blue Devil power play. 1-0. Livingston with the lead. Face off in the far face off circle. Richards in there. As that was versus Cavalier. Puck, top of the far circle, deflected all the way back. Sherry trying to take a blast from the far circle. Now it's a foot race. That puck will come back into the near corner. Hamas trying to get it out of the zone. Then tipped outside the near circle. Richards has it into the near corner. Richards feeds it out in front. That pulled back behind by Cavalier. Both as Livingston returns to full strength, but the first period ends at the end of 1. It is Livingston United 1 and Livingston United 1 and the Blue Devils nothing. We'll be right back with a let's play just a really quick piece of music here. As we head into the second period, Livingston United 1, Blue Devils nothing. Face off right at center. That brought back by Ellie Smith and along the near boards. Fired ahead by Charlotte Haar. Backhanded down the far boards. Good job by Shatuk to get it out of the zone. All the way back. Icing waved off. Back deep into the Blue Devil zone. Charlotte Haar has it down the near board. Charlotte Haar feeds it ahead. Wouldn't settle down for Boyer. Now coming in, Charlotte Haar. Outside the far circle. Into the slot is. And puck whipped all the way around outside the near circle. Now Pison trying to get it out of the zone. Held in. And in the slot, knocked down, now the other direction, Kim. Trying to poke it away, Moody at the far point, fires it back deep, loose on the far circle. And it comes from the far circle all the way outside the near circle is Verlinden. Trying to center it up. Puck outside the near circle, goes into the near corner as Boyer centers it off the shot. Patilla with the save. Out in front is Ellie Smith with a couple blasts. Patilla able to save it. The puck on the far circle. Back into the far corner, Verlinden. Right back behind the goal. Now Ellie Smith. And knocked into the near corner. Held in at the near point. And by Charlotte Haar. Out. On the far side of the goal. Sent right back, rimmed around the boards. Charlotte Haar trying to pinch at the near point. Into the near corner. Boyer with it. Right back behind the goal. Well, that comes outside the near circle. Trying to bring it ahead. Here comes Pison. Now racing in. Richards with it. Richards fires it over onto the far circle. Looking for Kim. Kim into the far corner. Boyer trying to get it out of the zone. Held in back over there by Young. Shot. Save by Rosie Smith. The puck back to the far point. Again held in over there by Young. Now that puck banked off of the near boards as Verlinden chases it. Shattuck back behind her own goal. Shattuck underneath the near circle as the Blue Devils go for a line change. Shattuck comes down the near board. Shattuck fires it ahead. There's that. Pison trying to get it out of the zone. Right into the near corner. That's centered up by Cavalier. Holding it in, trying to fire it back deep is Reynolds. That puck at the near point. Reynolds with it. Reynolds with the shot. Blocker saved by Rosie Smith into the far corner. And pulled back behind. Now shot again, a save by Patilla. Pulled back into the far corner by Leonard. Leonard on the far circle and slips right through the slot and banked all the way back out into center ice. Oki. And gathered up, coming ahead. Reynolds with it. Reynolds fires it in. Outside the near circle. Reynolds trying to get it. That chipped all the way back to the Blue Devil blue line. Now brought ahead. Here comes Oki. Oki trying to knock it away. Held in at the near point. Shot there by Peruski. Goes all the way outside the far circle. As that gathered in. Cavalier. Shot deflected back outside the near circle. As that's going to be a penalty to Livingston. As there's going to be an interference call. Into the box for interference, that at 11:30. Livingston United with the lead, but McGee into the box for interference. There's a shot and a save as Peabody with the blast from the faceoff, as Patilla with the save. Livingston United 1, Blue Devils nothing. 11:26 left to go here in the second period. O'Donoghue in to take the face-off. On the other side is Young. And pulled around into the slot. Now high slot coming over. Charlotte Haar. And sent right back, rimmed around the near board. Charlotte Haar keeping it in at the near point. Now sent outside the near circle for Peabody. Back to Charlotte Haar. Back to Peabody on the near circle. Fired through the slot. Loose. Trying to chip away. It comes back to the near circle. Now Peabody back to Charlotte Haar. Charlotte Haar with the shot. Trying to get a deflection out in the slot as O'Donoghue into the far corner. And fired around by Pison into the near corner. Backhanded and stick back by Patilla. That puck comes all the way back to the far point as that's knocked down there. And keep it in is Sherry. Now that cleared all the way down the ice. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. In the Blue Devil power play, Livingston United up by 1-0. The puck into the center ice and fired right back deep by Eckerman. Plucked up by Charlotte Haar, trying to get it ahead to Peabody. That deflects right to center ice. Rocketed back by Richards, but stopped by Peabody. Now Donahue coming down the far boards through center ice. O'Donoghue into the zone outside the far circle. O'Donoghue trying a backhanded shot. And lifted underneath the near circle, centering attempt. Sherry coming in to try and get to it. And puck all the way back to the near point. Tried to hold it in is Sherry. There's a shot by Vosberg. That cleared all the way down the ice. 17 seconds left to go. In the Blue Devil power play, 9:42 left to go here in the second. As Livingston United with the 1-0 lead over Grosse Pointe South. As racing in. Coming in with his Peruski. Well, on the near circle, Peruski underneath the near circle, comes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side, now switches directions. Underneath the near circle, trying to get a spot to go with it into the far corner. Centering attempt got deflected back in along the end boards. Now into the far corner, trying to feed it ahead was Kim. And puck into the far corner again. Hold right back behind underneath the near circle. Trying to make a move in is Cavalier, and a shot. And a save by Paitila. 9:01 left to go here in the second. Livingston back to full strength. They have the lead 1-0 on the Blue Devils. 9:01 left to go here in the second. Face-off in the near face-off circle that the Patilas left. As Ellie Smith in to take the face-off. So that was versus McGee. Then comes all the way in along the far boards. Blasted by Reynolds right back into the Livingston zone. And right to the far point. Now lifted back out by Anderson. Puck in along the near boards. Racing ahead with it. Firing it. Back deep was Oku. Oku banks it off of the end boards. Right back behind the goal. Underneath the near circle, Verlinden trying to get it right out in front. Verlinden in along the end boards. Into the far corner, Verlinden moves it right back. Pinned, working against Shattuck back there. There comes right through the slot, picked up. Here comes Livingston down the near boards. That fired all the way back to the Blue Devils. Just shy of their blue line coming in. Oku has it outside the near circle. Oku has it poke checked away into the near corner. Is trying to pull that puck back as Boyer's shot. Is that coming? In along the near boards, Livingston with it there. As they try and pull it out of the zone, battling there. Oku trying to hold it in. That puck in along the end boards. Pulled right back behind by Boyer. Puck into the near corner. And to come away with it was Ellie Smith. That back out into the neutral zone. The Blue Devils have to reset to avoid a delayed offsides. Is Oskew. Has it right back behind. Into the near corner. Pulling there. Shot by O'Donoghue. Loose on the far circle. Backhanded shot that off the side of the net. As Vosberg had an opportunity. .709 left to go here in the second. 1-0. As Livingston has the lead over the Blue Devils. Soskew has it. Shot Patilla with the save. 7:06 left to go. As that puck into the far corner, brought all the way back. That slips all the way back deep into the Blue Devil zone. As gathered up there, sending down the near boards, trying to hold it in is Eckerman. And puck slips into the far corner where Osmus trying to fire it ahead. Now O'Donoghue trying to get to it. Rocketed back the other direction by Young. Now down the near boards. Here comes Peabody into the zone. Peabody at the near point. Peabody chases it into the near corner. And ricocheted ahead, then over to Pison. There's a shot by Sherry. Is that deflected off the crossbar as Patilla got a glove on it. And it comes underneath the near circle coming in. O'Donoghue with a shot. Again, deflected save by Patilla. Puck in along the far boards. Vosberg trying to fire it back deep. Now Peabody with it. Another shot that into the near corner. Sherry into the near corner, trying to pull it away, trying to put it into the slot. Loose on the near circle, backhanded. O'Donohue with the rising shot that goes over the crossbar. High stick called, as that is going to be 5:46 left to go here in the second. 1-0, Livingston United with the lead over the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. High sticking call moves that face-off back into the Blue Devil zone. McGeehan to take the face-off for Livingston. As Cavalier on the other side. And puck through the slot, trying to get it loose. Sends outside the near circle is, pull that away is Peruski. And fired all the way down, banked off the far boards, racing ahead to get it. Trying to get there and along the end board. Shot off the side of the net. Deflects into the near corner. Peruski sends it back to the near point. That's Moody there. Moody from the high slot. Shot, or Moody from the near point, excuse me. Saved by Patilla. 5:15 left to go here in the second. It's a 1-goal game. Livingston United with the 1-0 lead over Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. Number 2 in the East versus number 3 in the West, trying to advance to play number 1 in the West. Skyline here on shot as that loose and covered up. Patilla getting a piece of it. Covering that up, and face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle, as that's going to be a penalty on Livingston as blocking. And at 5:11. As Blue Devils on the power play. As soon as they put it up on the board. I believe it was McWilliams. I'm going to put that number on my sheet. Face off in the near face off circle. That's going to be to the left of Patilla. Excuse me, that's going to be Eckerman into the box, number 16. Cavalier in to take the face off on the other side is Richards. The officials talking things over with the scorer's bench, trying to make sure everyone knows what's going on. There are going to be 2 penalties. They just had someone else go into the box. So I don't know if that was a double minor. Nope, doesn't look like it. That puck, fired through the slot, trying to get a handle on it. That pulled and fired all the way down by Young. Go all the way back deep. Gathered up there. Sherry brings it down the far boards, racing ahead. Reynolds feeds it all the way to the blue line, but Livingston United fires it all the way back. Now Sherry down the near boards. Ruski has it, top of the near circle. Gets that over to Cavalier. And putt rims all the way around the boards. There's Leonard. Back behind the goal, puts it into the near corner. Ruski out into the slot, pulled away. Here comes Richards. Richards banks it off of the far boards, goes back in along the end boards. And Cavalier back to the far point to Reynolds. And puck right through the crease, sticked away on the far side. There's a backhanded shot. Patilla with the save. And puck and along the near board, Sherry with a shot, sticked away by Patilla again into the far corner. Cavalier has it there. Cavalier puts it into the far corner. Richards moves it around the boards They get it over to Shattuck outside the near circle. Sherry in there. Peruski trying to get to it. Sherry with a shot that deflected out in front. Patilla is still able to knock it away. Is back behind. Leonard with it into the near corner. And puck loose. Leonard loses an edge right back behind the goal. And puck banked off of the near boards. That'll go all the way back into center ice. 9 seconds left to go on the Blue Devil power play. 3:16 left to go. Here in the second shot. Again, Patilla moves it right back behind the goal. And it comes into the near corner. As Reynolds has it, Livingston back to full strength. As that puck deflects into the far corner of the Livingston zone, brought right back behind by Sherry. Outside the near circle, Sherry with a shot that goes all the way into the far corner. And picked up there by Reynolds. Will go right through the slot to the near circle, right to the near point. Trying to hold it in there is Charlotte Haar. Outside the near circle, that comes all the way. Reynolds has it outside the far circle, comes into the far point. And puck top of the far circle, through the slot, knocked away by Livingston. And to poke it was Ellie Smith. Into the far corner, Reynolds with it there. And Reynolds switches directions, gets it top of the far circle over to Ellie Smith. Ellie Smith, back over, shot, that pad save into the near corner by Patilla. Boyer sends it right back behind the goal. And Pete, that pulled back over. Young trying to pull it off of the boards. That comes outside the near circle. Now Pysett gets it all the way back out into the neutral zone. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go here in the second. Charlotte Haar back behind her own goal, coming down the near boards. Livingston United 1. Blue Devils nothing. 1:40 left to go here in the second. And puck deflects right back behind. Ellie Smith takes it into the far corner, trying to pull it away. Livingston keeping it ahead as that pulled right back by Charlotte Haar. Charlotte Haar takes it back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. Over to Boyer. Boyer trying to get it out, held in by Shattuck. Back into the far corner. Kim into the far corner with it. Loose on that far circle. Battling hard. Livingston United trying to keep it into the zone. 1 minute, 4 seconds left to go. That cleared all the way down the ice. That'll be icing and head right back into the Blue Devil zone. 59 seconds left to go. Here in the second, 1-0. Livingston United up on Grosse Pointe South. Winner of this game gets to play here on Skyline at 8 o'clock here at Eddie Heger Ice Arena in Rink A. All the Division I games in Rink A, both today and Wednesday. Championship game at USA Hockey Arena. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Donahue in there versus Richards. That puck trying to hold it in. Now brought all the way back out by the Blue Devils. 51 seconds left to go. The puck outside the near circle. The fire it ahead is Shattuck. Right at the near point. Sherry trying to fire right back in, delayed offsides. As Blue Devils able to touch up the puck right at the blue line. Now brought ahead with it. Here comes McWilliams. McWilliams trying to get through traffic. And backhanded ahead to Sherry. Now plucked up. Racing in. On to the far circle. O'Donoghue. Trying to backhand it ahead as now O'Donoghue off the far circle. That comes all the way back to the far point. And shot. Plucked up, trying to get it out of the zone. Livingston, they can't. Now that fire from the far circle. Now Richards gets it out of the zone. Richards down the near boards, and that will do it for the second period at the end of 2. Oops, never advanced the scoreboard period, sorry. Headed into the third, it is Livingston United 1 and the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils nothing. We'll play a little bit of music and be back with your third period action as they resurface the ice. You are watching the Michigan Girls High School Hockey League playoffs, brought to you by Harbor Broadcasting. as they're working on resurfacing the ice here between the second and third period. Let's take a look at the All-State recognition, see if we can find any of the players on these two teams. On that is just flipping through here. Livingston United has Clemo. That is a honorable mention, Division I on the defense All-State. Grosse Pointe South, honorable mention for Reynolds. Just taking a look, that's going to be all Division II over on the offensive side. As Cavalier with a first team, Division I, Team 1, a first team forward, as Cavalier has that for Grosse Pointe South. And then Livingston United, Richards is honorable mention Division I for the forwards. Grosse Pointe South also honorable mention Division I for Leonard, the freshman number 52 from Grosse Pointe South, and O'Donoghue, senior, with an honorable mention on the forward position as well. So a couple All-State recognitions for both of these two squads. Earlier today, it was Liggett beating Washtenaw United 7-0. Livonia United beat Pioneer 4-2. Those two teams, Liggett and Livonia United, will play at 6 o'clock. And Wednesday here at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena. Then Skyline beat Mercy 8-0 in the game before this one. And they will play the winner of this game at 8 o'clock here at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena on Wednesday here at Rink A. Yes. Both squads out for the all-important third period. Livingston United with the 1-0 lead. 15 minutes up on the clock. Game 4 in the Division I Michigan Girls High School Hockey League playoffs for Division I. Both squads gathered around, getting ready to go. As the Blue Devils will be going from right to left here in the third period. Livingston United going from left to right. The officials right in front of the scorer's bench. So they get a little Timmy trumpet going on to get the everyone fired up. Face off right at center ice. Richards in to take the face off for Livingston. Out comes the Blue Devils as they get set to take the face-off, as O'Donoghue on the other side versus Richards, and we are underway here in the third. Livingston United with the 1-0 lead. Puck in along the near boards. That chipped in by Pison and brought all the way down back into the Livingston zone as Patilla puts it into the near corner. Pulled back behind by Shatuk. And along the far board, Shatuk has had a very good game for Livingston. Puck bouncing, top of the far circle, now brought in. Loose on that far circle. Blue Devils with the shot. Patilla with the save. Comes outside the near circle. Peabody with it. Underneath the near circle, trying to get to that. And to pull it around was O'Donoghue. Is now in along the end board. Ellie Smith trying to dig it off of the end board. Richards has it in the far corner. Richards pulls it ahead for Livingston United. Moves it over to Pison. Pison trying to get further. Pison as that pulled away as the puck. O'Donoghue fires it back down into the near corner. Both fan bases upset and wanting a penalty This is the puck all the way back to center. Reynolds has it down the near boards, coming ahead. O'Donoghue gains the zone. O'Donoghue into the near corner. O'Donoghue into the slot. It chipped wide. This goes into the far corner. Ellie Smith again trying to dig it out of the boards. Comes back to the far point. Held in there by Oskew. Sticked into the near corner. Pull back around. As that puck out, and Patilla covering it up as O'Donoghue right on the doorstep. Patilla able to freeze it at 13-14 left to go here in the third, 1-0. Livingston United with the lead. Blue Devils trying to get it tied up and grab momentum away. Face off in the far face-off circle. As McGee in there versus Cavalier. And right out in front, tipped away by Patilla, top of the far circle, loose in the slot. Now back to the blue line. Set as Camilleri with a shot at that save. Cavalier. Shot from just outside the near circle. Patilla with the save. Cavalier in to take the face off versus McGee on the other side. And into the slot, trying to get to it. Puck loose. Banked off of the near birds all the way back into the neutral zone. As Cosmas fires it in to the near corner. Racing over to get it is Young. Trying to pull it away is Cavalier. Coming in the slot, out in front, shot. As Patilla with the save, loose into the slot again. Cavalier trying to get it. Shot from the corner of the far circle. Again with the save, that was Leonard with it. Now poked onto the near circle. Moving around, Leonard gets it onto the far circle. Wouldn't settle down, that shot just goes wide. Cavalier puts it in along the end boards. As Peruski has it on the far side of the net. Bouncing puck into the near corner. 12 minutes left to go here in the third. 1-0. Livingston United with the lead. That goes all the way back into the Blue Devils zone. Sherry has it there. Coming down the far board. Sherry feeds it ahead. Now here comes Leonard. Leonard on the near circle racing in. Leonard with a shot. Patilla with the save. 11:39 left to go here in the third. Well, it was a goal by Livingston United all the way back at 9:21 in the first. That is held up so far as we are here with 11:39 left to go in the third. Face off in the far face-off circle. And to Patilla's left. O'Donoghue trying to get that into the slot, pulled away, coming down the near boards. Is that lifted by Shatuk, right to the near point, trying to get it out. Reynolds trying to hold it in. O'Donoghue trying to hold it in. Now Boyer on the near circle. Boyer into the near corner. Boyer in along the end boards. And fired all the way back. Outside the far circle with the shot. And puck now outside the near circle. Boyer with it. That pulled away. Here comes Livingston United. Richards down the far boards. Richards puts it deep into the near corner of the Blue Devil zone. Gathered there, trying to fire it ahead is Boyer out down the ice. And sent back deep. That is going to be icing and head back into the Blue Devil zone. 10:51 left to go here in the third. 1-0. As it's Livingston United with the lead over the Blue Devils. Face off in the near face off circle. That is to Rosie Smith's left. There's Reynolds in to take the face off versus McGee. The puck outside the near circle. Comes all the way back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Prusky. Prusky sets it up. Oh, trying to get it over on the far circle to Peabody. Wouldn't settle down. Back to the far point to Sherry. Sherry outside that far circle. Shot blocked again. As again, Shattuck getting in the way. And puck outside the near circle now. As Anderson trying to get it out of the zone. Sent back deep by Leonard into the near corner. Now Peruski trying to pull it out of the near corner. Pulled back behind by Leonard. Wraparound attempt and they score! As Leonard from the near side went to go back behind the goal. Switched directions and quickly did a wraparound. And it's all knotted up at 1 apiece at 10-10. As Leonard with a huge goal for the Blue Devils. We're all knotted up at 1 apiece. That puck in along the far boards. As Oskew fires it ahead, bringing it in is Peabody. And shot into the near corner. Young bringing it ahead. Lenhart's goal was unassisted. That puck outside the near circle. As Peruski into the near corner for Leonard. Leonard just tied the game up. As Pison gets it to the near point but can't get it out. Fired back deep by Oskew. And top of the near circle trying to feed it over was Pison. Loose right back behind Peruski. Shot as Patilla. A save comes loose out to the near side. 9:27 left to go here in the third. 1-1. All knotted up between the Blue Devils and Livingston United. Face off in the near face off circle. Richards in to take the face off. Cavalier on the other side. As holding the puck in, that popped up high by Charlotte Haar. Coming through the side, Cavalier with the save, and that, Cavalier with the shot, saved by Patilla. 9:16 left to go here in the third. 1-1 is our score. Face off in the far face off circle. Richards, in to take the face off. Cavalier on the other side. Puck loose, trying to get to it was Ellie Smith. Into the near corner it goes. In the Livingston zone. And puck trying to pull it away. Verlinden had it. Pulled back behind by Shattuck. Shattuck coming down the far board. Shattuck fires it. And tipped all the way back into the far corner of the Blue Devils zone. As that pulled back behind by Cavalier. Coming down the near boards, over on blue line. Cavalier over center ice. Cavalier gains the zone through the slot. Cavalier backhanded shot. Blocker saved by Patilla. And puck underneath the near circle, controlled by Ellie Smith. Backhanding, centering attempt comes onto the far circle. Top of the near circle now in the Livingston zone. Battle for it at the near point. Ellie Smith trying to hold it in, that out into the neutral zone as McGee fires it all the way back into the Blue Devils zone. Blue Devils bank it off the far boards, racing ahead with O'Donohue trying to get to it, but not before it's fired deep by Young, as that'll go right back behind the Blue Devil goal. Right back behind Rosie Smith. Blue Devils, O'Donohue coming over center ice. O'Donohue coming down the near boards, gains the Livingston zone, fires it into the far corner. As that, Boyer has it, top of the far circle, shot just goes wide. Boyer in along the end boards. Boyer feeds it right through the crease, that banked off of the near boards. Reynolds with it on the near circle. Shot, Patilla covers it up. 7:38 left to go here in the third. 1-1 is our score. Face off in the near face off circle, that to Patilla's right. Livingston United scored all the way back in the first. At 10-10, Blue Devils tied it up as Peruski in to take the face off. McGee on the other side, that comes all the way outside the far circle. Racing over to get it is Peabody, that lifted. Top of the far circle now coming in on the near circle. Peruski through the slot, wouldn't settle down. as Peabody was sitting right there to get it. Collision that fired all the way back on edge. Racing back to get it is Reynolds back behind her own goal. Now here comes the Blue Devils. Reynolds gets some speed over on blue line. Down the near boards, Reynolds gains the zone on the near circle shot. Sticked away by Patilla. Outside the far circle. Peabody trying to get to it. That lifted all the way back down. Reynolds again back behind her own goal from the far side and the near side. Ricochets it ahead. Now that swept over to Pereski. Pereski on the far circle. Drop pass. Shot by Peabody. And saved by Patilla. Livingston United gets it to the blue line. Reynolds holds it in top of the near circle. Reynolds with a shot that goes wide to the near side. Now Peabody centering out in front. Trying to sweep it over is Leonard, who had the first goal. There was a shot that wouldn't settle down for Pereski. She saw an open net on the near corner. Tipped back away, trying to get to it. And pulled and shot by Reynolds. Comes outside the near circle. Livingston United able to clear it all the way down the ice. That'll be icing. But Livingston United able to get a line change. 6:08 left to go here in the third. 1-1 is our score. Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils versus Livingston United. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Winner plays here on Skyline. 8 o'clock on Wednesday here at Eddie Edgar Ice Arena here in Rink A. Ellie Smith with a shot off the face-off. Padilla with the save. Eckerman brings it back behind and along the far boards. Eckerman over on blue line. Eckerman into the Blue Devil zone before putting it back into the near corner. And chipped off the side of the net, sitting loose. Now that cleared all the way down the ice, racing ahead. That will be icing and head right back into the Blue Devil zone. 5:41 left to go here in the third. 1-1 is our score. Final game of the day is if we remain tied coming into the final 2 minutes, we'll go over the tournament overtime procedures. Both of these squads have something to say about that well before that. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That pulled back to the near point. Shot there by Shatuk, steered into the far corner. As Moody back into the far corner, trying to pull that away. Now bringing ahead is Peabody. And through Leonard. Fires it ahead. Now here comes Pereski. Pereski with the shot. And she puts it in and scores. Pereski on a breakaway. Just her and Patilla may be able to fade over just the far side of the slot and fire it in. There wasn't much Patilla could do about that. Patilla has had a fantastic game, but Pereski with an excellent shot. And Grosse Pointe South now with the 2-1 lead with 2 goals in the third. Face off right at center ice is McGee and brought back in by Leonard. Leonard as it poked away in along the near boards. Anderson trying to get it back out as Grosse Pointe South will have to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. The puck into the near corner. Shatuk bringing it ahead. Leonard gets the assist. So the assist is to Leonard and Peabody with the second assist. So Leonard with a 2-point game with the goal and the assist. Pereski with the goal. That comes right back behind. Trying to pull it away outside the near circle is Vosberg. Holding it in is Charlotte Haar. Centering attempt goes right through the crease into the far corner. With it there is Peabody. Peabody trying to set it up through the slot. Shot by O'Donohue. That goes wide to the near side. 4:13 left to go here in the third. 2-1. Blue Devils with their first lead of the game. That comes in along the far boards. Swept all the way down the ice by Livingston. That'll be icing. Livingston United will get a line change. That'll stay back in their zone in the far face-off circle with 4 minutes and 1 second left to go. And to the left of Patilla. It's Richards in to take the face-off. Cavalier on the other side. That puck right is saved by Patilla. Another shot, and they put it in. Patilla looked like Patilla was going to get the glove save, and it just took a knuckleball move right past her. And she was in good position, and now Grosse Pointe South, with 3 goals in the third, have taken a 3-1 lead. And at 3:56. So I believe that was Reynolds with the goal, but we will double check. It's timeout call by Livingston United. They want to talk things over. So 3-0, Blue Devils with the lead. Winner plays Skyline Huron on 8. Unassisted goal by Reynolds. As again, winner plays Huron Skyline at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. As it's University of Liggett versus Livonia United at 6 o'clock here at Rink A on Wednesday. And then the winner of this game versus Huron Skyline after that at 8 o'clock. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left to go here in the third. 3-1. Blue Devils with the lead. Well, all the way back at 9:21 in the first, it was Pison who put it in for Livingston United, and that held true all the way through till 10:10 in the third. And that was a goal that tied it up by Leonard, then a goal by Peruski, and now finally a goal by Reynolds, and it's a 3-1 lead. Puck in along the far boards. Eckerman brings it ahead. And fired right back down the ice. Young at her own blue line. Ricochets it off the near boards. And now trying to pull it ahead is Ellie Smith. And O'Donohue sends it right back behind the goal. Underneath the near circle. O'Donohue trying to fire it out in front. Loose. And they put it in as a battle for it out in front. And at 3:30. The goal explosion has happened for Grosse Pointe South, as that looks like O'Donohue puts it in at 3:30. And really 3 goals from 5:20 to 3:30 in the space of less than 2 minutes. Grosse Pointe South has broken this game open. Face off at center ice as Peruski in there versus Richards. The puck in along the far boards as Peabody trying to fire it ahead. That puck lifted back into the Blue Devil zone. In along the far boards as Charlotte Haar puts it into the near corner, trying to pull that away down near the near boards. Moody trying to get it out of the zone. O'Donohue unassisted on the goal. And the last goal by Grosse Pointe South, the puck into the near corner. Now Richards pulls it right back behind the Grosse Pointe South goal. Peabody has it outside the far circle, trying to lever it away. That to the blue line now, coming ahead with it. Peruski pulled off the puck and lifted the other direction is Eckerman. As that puck in along the far boards, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. That puck into the far corner. 2:29 left to go here in the third, 4-1. 2:27 left to go here in the third, 4-1. Into the box as Livingston takes a penalty. at 2:27. And puck shot. No goal. .222 left to go here in the third. 4-1, Grosse Pointe South with the lead. 1 minute 56 seconds left on the power play. Net came off of its moorings. Face off in the far face-off circle. It's McGee in to take the face-off. Now they'll switch lines as there's another penalty. That's going to be a 5-on-3. As into the box goes Young for Livingston United. And at 2:20, as it is a 5-on-3, Grosse Pointe South. With that 5-on-3 comes in along the near boards. And puck back to the near point. Reynolds fired in along the end boards as Shatuk trying to pull it away. Cavalier into the near corner. Now pull back. Reynolds outside the near circle. That shot, and they score. And makes it 5-1. That'll take the first penalty away. And so it'll be a 1 minute 27 second game. Five to 1, that at 1:49 left to go. Face off right at center ice, pulled down the near boards. Livingston United trying to fire it into the zone and pull back the other direction. Racing ahead with it, Verlinden puts it deep in along the end boards. 5 on for Blue Devils with the power play. That comes back into the near corner. As Reynolds on the goal, as it was Cavalier and Ellie Smith on the assist. Puck right at the near point, fired back deep to 1 minute 11 seconds left to go here in the third. Ackerman fires it all the way down. And stopped by Rosie Smith. Picking up Charlotte Haar, feeds it ahead. Here comes O'Donohue. O'Donohue makes a move over the zone. O'Donohue, top of the near circle. Now O'Donohue, the shot. Patilla with the save. 49 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-1. Grosse Pointe South with the lead. In along the near boards. And puck fired. Loose. Chip back to the near point. Now Moody with it. Moody with a shot. And knocked away by Patilla. Into the near corner. And into the far corner. Pulled back as Kim trying to knock it out of the zone. Deflected puck. Knocked down by Vosberg. Now a shot right out in front. Backhanded shot. Patilla trying to move it away. 15 seconds left to go. 13 seconds left to go. Shot there. Saved by Patilla. 5-1. Grosse Pointe South with the lead. With 9.6 seconds left to go, they will face here on Skyline at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Face off in the near face off circle. That to Patilla's right. Is O'Donohue in to take the face off versus Richards. 7 seconds left to go. As that puck. As there's a big battle right underneath. Point 4 seconds left to go. Hey, you sit down! You sit down! Hey, both of you sit down! None of that! Good sportsmanship! That's enough! We will have no fights here! Sorry, just a couple fans getting into it and hollering to get everyone to sit down so we can get past the last 0.4 seconds left to go. As that will do it, as Grosse Pointe South wins. And they will advance at 8 o'clock as they will play here on Skyline, as we will step away. And for my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very, very much. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail as people leave the rink. And we're very grateful for you watching and cheering for all of these wonderful, amazing teams. Hopefully our Team 2 will be back, and we will have the games at 6 o'clock for Division 1 and 8 o'clock on Wednesday from Rink A.